So this palette just been Gonzalez. I just ran from a hiring event for Amazon, I think. Anyway, I was just looking at a meme on Facebook about D&D, and it has a wizard that casts fireball just walking in there, and then they show the same picture but from the back, and the wizard has the clothes ripped off and broken from the fireball. And that brought me some memories of back when I was in college in Puerto Rico and I was playing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, second edition. Not the first edition, second edition. Um, Before we have Dungeons and Dragons 3.0, we changed the game forever um, in the early 2000s. So I was playing AD&D back in 93, 94, and I usually wanted to play fighters, whether it was a paladin, ranger, although I wasn't too fond of rangers, fighter, um, paladins. Mostly I play fighters, and I would try to give it the gimmick of barbarian because I was a big fan of Conan the Barbarian, and I didn't like the build of barbarian, even there was a handbook about barbarians, but it wasn't my thing. So I would just go with fighter, and I would just get a cheap leather armor and a sword. And the one thing that I always kill my characters most of the time was the wizard. Yeah, the wizard. Because as a fighter in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, I mean, there were no feats. It was all like very basic. So as a fighter, your job is like, oh, there's a monster there. I just have to move and attack by melee. And I never like using arrows or range attacks or anything like that. Which, if I could, I would have used it. But at the same time, I didn't know better. And I got killed so many times because I will win the initiative roll, and then I will move, I will attack, I'll be fighting in close combat, and the wizard will go like fireball, and then the next thing will be the DM asking me, hey, roll a saving throw, and I'm like, shit. And I have so much bad luck on the saving throws, and my character will take a bunch of damage because the wizard of the group was in such a high level that it's like, yeah, take this amount of damage. I'm like, yeah, I'm dead, thank you. So yeah, and that's why there was a joke that I had a notebook of player characters, and it was true because I was where the character sheet was not as it is today, which is a little bit more complex. It was a very easy character sheet, so I was have it in a notebook, and I have the character's name and everything, and so yeah, I had a notebook of player characters, and all of them are dead or died back then. And at one point, I was just like, hey, I got a character that I make, and I just recycle this character. I began recycling the characters for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah. Lately, I've been having much luck. Like the last campaign that I played, it was Pathfinder, and I played a barbarian, and I was able to get to level 17, which I was so excited because like I survived again, and it was just amazing. I think it helped the fact that I was able to have extra hit points plus the barbarian rage. So yeah, definitely was happy playing the barbarian. I was playing 5th edition at Zombie Planet before the pandemic happened, and I was playing a thief. I decided to go change completely. Instead of going with like a monk or a fighter or a barbarian, I decided to try playing something totally out of there was a bee. I swear, it's just somewhere in my cart. Now I'm scared. Um, BB, where are you, BB? Anyway, so yeah, so what I was going to say? Oh yeah, so I was playing at Zombie Planet. I decided to change the characters that I play, so I began playing a thief or a rogue, and it was a halfling. and then I decided that instead of going with a regular build, that the character sheet was, because I didn't want to spend too much time making my character, so I used a pre-generated character from the starter set. So I decided to use that thief, and then when I reached level 3, I decided to change the build, and I decided to become a swashbuckler thief. So I turned my halfling into a swashbuckler, and now I'm fighting with 2 weapons, and it's just fantastic, and since I'm enjoying most of the role playing aspect of it, so I'm like kind of like trying to find ways of the situation that are quite hilarious. Like the best one was I was playing and I heard a check. I could hear some voices, and it's like I tell the guys, "Hey guys, get ready." And then I knock on the door, and I go like in a dungeon, and knock on the door. There's a fire! Come out and help! Come out and help! And the other people just believed that, and everybody just came out running, and the party just boom overwhelmed them with an instant spell, and they killed them. And I was just like laughing hysterically because that usually doesn't happen. Also, I was getting in trouble too as a halfling because, for example, oh look, there's a sword in there. Let me grab the sword. Uh-oh. And the sword started attacking me, and I almost died because of the sword. But yeah. Anyway, so D&D adventures. All right, that's all for now because I have to go home, and hopefully the bee is not here. But yeah.